This
Yeah,
is Uma,
namaste.
yes.
Namaskar. Yes,
In fact, I had attended recently a lecture by a mathematician, and she
ji.
was talking about Sankhya and Sankhya being one and the same.
Ha.
May I know that? I mean, I don't understand very well the concept. I
Oh,
know Sankhya
for a
philosophy.
but for a mathematician, everything you'll see numbers only. For a mathematician's perspective, Sankhya will remain the same. For somebody who does not fully relate, you see the numbers everywhere. You look at you see the pi is called divine ratio, isn't it?
Hmm.
Why is it
Yes,
divine ratio? Because everywhere you see that particular ratio.
right.
Sometimes people see certain figures and then suddenly see figures, and behind figures also there is something. If you look at even the numbers, Shunya is the first, isn't it? Shunya is Purnatvam also. In Sankhya Yoga, it's Purna. In mathematics, it means nothing, but it means everything also for all the mathematical calculations. And then one has significance. One is the first one. Ekameva Advitiyam.
Hmm.
Dvitiya means two. So again,
Hmm.
so there is one creation, there is destruction. Just today, I think Binaji asked, Sakar and Nirakar, two different options. We go to three also. Again, three we will see Tattva, Rajatamas, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So I think that is a mathematician's perspective. Because
Okay,
it cannot
but
literally,
but he
we can
cannot. But it is
literally,
not actually. A
lit,
mathematician can see it that way, but
yeah,
actually,
yeah,
Sankhya philosophy and
yeah.
Sankhya is not
Words
one
are
and the
different.
same.
Words are different, literally, if you look at it. Yes,
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Ji. Hari Om. Let us begin. We'll begin with the invocation. Hari Om. सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धे भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं Jai Shri Krishna. Can someone recollect what is it that we saw last? Yes, please. From the link and quickly move ahead. Yes, please. Anybody?
Krishna tells Arjuna to become like the yogi, surrender with full shraddha, and that sort of a yogi is dearest to me. That's what
Who is
Krishna tells.
was integrated in all principles, no? In all jnana,
Dearer
karma.
than the ascetic or the jnani or the karma yogi. This sort of
Yeah.
a yogi is more dear to me. And
Yes.
he says that I will clear all your doubts if please listen to me carefully. And
Yeah.
I'll
Yes.
explain the science of
Union.
yoga
Yes.
to you.
Yes. Ji. Because many times our preferences take over everything. Means Krishna wants something to manifest with him. Krishna don't. What can Krishna do then? If Krishna really wants it to manifest. But again, the bhakti is also there. So it becomes like parents trying to tell the child, don't eat this chocolate now. It's not good for you. But if the child keeps crying, like, "Arey, take." Dentist will teach you afterwards why you should not have too much of this chocolate. Something like that. In the sadhana also, many, many times our preferences. I am more inclined to gathering knowledge. That means I'm going to close myself from bhakti. Again, it's unnecessary. This is not required. Many times this division, the bhed happens. And that bhed only separates us. Because we will see also later in the Gita, how Krishna talks about the highest Vidya, which is beyond all what we can see. Adhyatma Vidya is said to be highest. And it can be learned this way, it can be learned that way. Always they will integrate. When we don't know, then only we make the divide, isn't it? Just like in my college times, mechanical engineer and electronics engineer, both were always fighting. I remember first year, our seniors came and told us how we are better than them and how we should show, and there were fist fights. There were so many things would happen. We are royal mech and all. Well, it was crazy. One day, one senior came and told, "See, I'm doing mechatronics." Our head became in circle. What is mechatronics? It's a combination of both the sciences. So then suddenly there was no point in fighting. Here, this is a fusion here. And any senior engineer you see, they will say that these are all interconnected only. The divide is not there. Something like that. That is why. The one on the Bhakti Marga respects the one on the Jnana Marga. The one on the Jnana Marga respects the one on the Bhakti Marga. The one on the Bhakti Marga recognizes the Karma Yoga, but no marg is considered lesser or inferior. And in our choice, we should never turn away Krishna's wish just because of my preference. If Krishna wants you to study something you don't like, what will you do? You say, I don't like this subject, give me something else. People have no preferences. No, I don't like to raise my voice. I'm a quiet person. Injustice is happening. No, Krishna will do it. This is what happened. Many people ran into temples when invaders were coming in. Why? They did not pick up their weapons. Krishna will do it. Divine will do it. What is that? That is again a kind of tamasic surrender only, but in the pretext of something else. So that tamas is, we will see later anyway, the gunas are not yet invoked. So Krishna says greatest yogi, greatest tapasvi, greatest karma yogi, all are one. Those who are having shraddha, those who are having a love for the divine, that is immeasurable. That love is only infinite. If you want to realize how infinite the divine is, start loving the divine infinitely with your full strength. And love is one emotion. Means human beings are generally a bundle of emotions, bundle of insecurities, bundle of attachment, everything. It is all there, but there's only one human emotion. The mother also talks about this, Sri Aurobindo also talks about it. One emotion that can allow us to rise in consciousness, that is love. Love is a singular human emotion that can catalyze our evolution. So channel it, channel that love to the divine. Don't worry, maybe somebody you like somebody and you want to offer, it's not coming back, you're not getting return. There are all these problems of give and take place. Instead, channel to the divine. Like there is a goddess who is called a divine distributor, Dakshina in the Rig Veda. Her job is to ensure the shares go to the Hotar's share goes to the Hotar, the Deva's Bhagar should go to the Deva. Like that, it will ensure. So channel everything to the divine and let the divine come in between all your relations, then watch the miracle. Because Shraddha is something which is to be experienced, which has to be cultivated. It cannot be enforced. You cannot study and, get Shraddha by reading only. Or you can't go to a doctor, give me injection of Shraddha, I want Shraddha inside of me. It will not come that way at all. Realization, Shraddha comes with sincerity, with aspiration, but most of all with love for the divine. And how to love, I don't think any manual is there, isn't it? You have to realize it when you are free. Then only you will be able to understand. Otherwise, all bandhanas, all different mental constructs will come in between. So that is what Krishna has talked about. He says, Arjuna, listen. When your consciousness is fully absorbed in Krishna's, your foundation has become firm, he says, then your every doubt, no questions remain. No questions remain. Your every doubt will be answered and cleared, and you will receive that undiluted knowledge from me. That jnana will come directly from the divine. So many have experienced that. Sakshat, learning directly from the divine. Is there any university where the divine will enroll you and then take you inside only? Or it can happen in any city. Not necessarily a university, isn't it? It can be anywhere. Why city? Even in a village also. Bahina Bai Chaudhary. Ai Bahina Bai, how everybody call her. Illiterate poetess. She said, Mazi Maya Soro Soti Maza Shika Vite Boli. No Pandit came to correct and said, don't say Soro Soti. She will get insulted. She called her Soroswati. That is her way of calling, and the mother understood it. The love was there. Does a mother get irritated if the small child says Mimmi or Mama instead of Ma? No, it doesn't make a difference at all. Something like that, connect, and you will receive, because what she received, it was unbelievable. Even after her death, her book became suddenly alive. Now in Yashwantrao Chauhan University, people are doing PhD. Nobody is saying her Marathi is not Shuddha Marathi. It is some Khandesi or Varhadi dialogue. I mean, dialect is there. They are doing PhD to understand the content. She said, I learned Bhagavad Gita by working in the fields. One of her, what we can say, songs in that it is there. that she's working in the fields to feed. She's a widow at a very young age. She has to feed her children. How many difficulties, how many challenges? Anybody would have felt, oh no, my life is like this, I'm crushed. No chance to go across to so many temples, no pilgrimages. But no, she connected directly. So what we say, all moments you can connect, but for that you need a strong foundation. When the foundation is strong, you will receive, knowledge will come from all directions. You can be in a place surrounded by books, or you can be in a place surrounded by no book. Still you will receive that knowledge when you are receptive. The Aadhar must become ready, then only the grace pours into the vessel. And Shraddha is one aspect which will strengthen one person. It is the fire of the tapasya, that is also Shraddha, which will keep the tapasya going. Shraddha is the perseverance of the karma yogi also. Shraddha only allows the karma yogi to move ahead. Shraddha also is the source of jnana. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam is what the Bhagavad Gita says. So again, without that, nothing comes. Krishna goes on, he says, when you receive this knowledge, this will be the undiluted one. After receiving it, no doubts will exist. He goes on further. Manushyanam sahastreshu. We continue with the third shloka. Manushyanam sahastreshu kaschyadyaditi siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. Krishna says, among the thousands of men who seek perfection and the many thousands who strive in this aspiration, the self-realization by hardly one is one. And my entire truth is known to only that rarest one. So there are so many walking on the path. So many walk on the path. But not everybody realizes. Now what? Another entrance exam. Adhyatma Marga also. High cutoff. Only one. Only one is getting. It is not that. It is possible for everybody. But you see, Prakriti has a tendency of trapping us in moha. So it is like easily you get diverted, you get attached, you get entangled, you start getting convinced that these desires are required. These desires will only help me. The attachment is all that is mine. Nothing else will remain. If I lose this attachment, I will cease to exist. So many such different pitfalls are there. That is why people get trapped. Otherwise, there is no special exam or you need to go to a coaching center for Adhyatmic realization. It can come to everybody, but the problem is everybody get trapped in this moha. Krishna goes on, he says thousands. You see, there are thousands who seek. We may not have come across the thousands, but if you look in the world, there are thousands of seekers of the divine. They want that perfection. There's thousands among them. It's like thousands strive. They take efforts also. But in spite of that, only one in a thousand. One in a thousand, and then those thousands are also some of the several thousands. It's so rare, is what Krishna is saying, that the entire truth can be won by that person. So choice is ours, actually. That is the beauty. We can choose. We can choose if we want to be the one in thousand, we can become. The path is not barred for us. Only we should not get trapped. So we have to become conscious. Krishna goes on. Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu kham mano buddhireva vacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakriti ashtada. It's interesting. We talked about the Panchamahabhutas, something similar. The Panchamahabhutas are only coming in today's chapter. It is the elements: earth, fire, water, ether, and air. Panchamahabhutas are there, isn't it? Are we connected with Panchamahabhutas anyway? Some people say we are not. Some people say don't say 5 elements. That's a very primitive way. Say hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, entire periodic table. They'll memorize and tell you this is how you should say. These many elements are there, not 5 elements. No, our that Pancha Tattva, Pancha Mahabhutas, you look at it, even in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Or you look at the creation of universe, you will see the same. What was there? First was plasma state, isn't it? Then there was movement. According to physics, it is that. What are we talking about? It's the same thing. There was Akash Tattva, there was Vayu, like so many. But if you see the Taittiriya Upanishad, it talks the exact sequence of formation. Vayu, Agni, Rapaha, Udbhya, Prithvi, Prithivya, Oshadhi, then from the Prithvi, different plants, animals, human. So this entire Agni also means we know, isn't it? What happens when there is a lot of fire, heat is generated. After heat is generated on particles, what happens? There is condensation, isn't it? That leads to what? Condensation leads to origin of water. This is the sequence, which is the sequence of what we understand in modern physics also. But then this Pancha Mahabhutas, people try to equate with the materials of the elements of the periodic table. They're different. But if you look at it, it is very interesting because see, first, what is first? Hydrogen. So what is hydrogen? It's just singular, isn't it? Then suddenly that hydrogen only divided and became heavier. How did one hydrogen become heavier and slowly afterwards we even got oxygen, isn't it? Oxygen is much more heavier than hydrogen. But from something lighter, how did something heavier come out? Well, don't ask that to the don't ask that to the physicists. Then they say these are extremely combustible. Hydrogen is combustible, oxygen is combustible. Bring two combustible aspects, what will happen? Sport only, isn't it? But they are saying two combustible items come together to become water. Two hydrogen molecules and oxygen. How? No, don't ask how. So it is something like that. Let us not go into the scientific aspect. Scientists may know better than me. I'm just an engineer. But coming back to our Pancha Mahabhutas, our body is made of Pancha Mahabhutas. Water. Yes or no? Most of our body is water. Look at Vayu. Vayu Sancharan is there, isn't it? If there is a disturbance, the Ayurvedic Vaidya will say, dosha, vata dosha, because moment is not right. Then they say, do massage, then you'll feel better. My grandmother used to start burping, little bit massage also, because she had a lot of vata issues. So vata, the movement is taking place. So this is vata. So there is Vayu is there.
What does Sancharan means?
Movement.
You said Vayu Sancharan.
Movement. It moves, isn't it? I mean, it enters into our body, moves into our lungs. There are other places also. We also have intercellular air spaces inside of our entire body. Each of every cell is having it. So there is Vayu, there is what? Jala. What about Agni? Agni is there, isn't it? There are endothermic
In the
reactions.
digestive system.
Yeah, that's they call Jaఠaragni.
That have happened.
Yes, we have what we can say.
Acids.
Yes, the physiologist will tell you they have this HCl secretion, acid, heat, so much is generated inside. We experience it while eating also. That energy is required for breaking down, and that is fire only. Mitochondria also, they're just powerhouses only of the body. So yes, there is Agni, there is Jala, there is Vayu. What is Prithvi? Prithvi can be called our germ cells only in our Sharira. That is equal to Prithvi Tattva.
Root
So,
chakra.
okay, if you are connecting with the chakras, you can
Mm.
calculate. But so Panchama, ether is what again? Ether is that existence, it's space. Space is what? Intercellular spaces across entire body, everywhere it is there. So all Panchama Bhutas, they are connected. That is why there's a treatment method using 5 elements for treatment. They call it, anybody knows the name of it? Yes?
Marm Chikitsa and acupressure. Like there is color therapy, obviously there is Marm Chikitsa which deals through the acupressure points, and it says that it has obviously the 5 elements.
Nar
The base.
naturopathy ji. Juhi ji.
Yeah, naturopathy.
Panchakriya,
Panchakarma.
Panchakarma.
Panchakarma is a part of Ayurveda, which requires 5 different kriyas are done. But naturopathy specifically uses only the elements. Either it use different waters, hot and cold. Hot water is used, cold water is given at particular treatments. for pain, for nervous disorders also at a particular way. Like that earth also, soils also. My Guruji Damleji is using different soils only in a product called Herbo Mineral. It is for treatment also. It is treatment of wounds also. So like that, different. So Pancha Mahabhutas, we are connected. That is our base. So let us see what is Krishna is saying. Apart from Pancha Mahabhutas, there are also the Indriyas. There's the mind, reason and ego. Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar. How many of us have mind? Everybody has mind. Buddhi, yes, everybody has Buddhi. Ahankar, nobody has Ahankar, is what everybody will try to say. But I think everybody has Ahankar because it is a part of Srishti. Ahankar is like our skeletal system. You take it out, we'll fall down. Something like that. Each of us has Ahankar. Whose fault? We can find out now. Not our fault. This is there in everybody. So we can say collectively we have not done something wrong. But somebody has done it because of which we have Ahankar. Well, that is Prakriti. Prakriti is responsible for feeling Ahankar. Somebody who says Ahankar, I have no Ahankar. The Ahankar is only saying that I don't have Ahankar. So some people say this person is so egoistic. Namli says never use this word at all. Stop searching for others' egos. Why? The ego in you is seeing the ego in the other. So this is there. Prakriti will ensure we all get moments of Ahankar. Why in Rig Veda, the great Vedic rishis had Ahankar. Indra Agastya Samvad is there in a beautiful sukta. It is a beautiful dialogue. Agastya is calling Indra his comrade, and they're talking. There's a dialogue taking place. Of course, he has earned that consciousness. So maybe he had reached that state of illumined mind. But what did he try? He tried to bypass Indra to reach the higher state. So Indra has come and he says, I am here for a purpose. You are trying to cross me without me. And then Agastya realizes his folly and he says, no, I cannot go without you. Through you, I will reach the next state of consciousness. The system is there. I recognize it. So something like that. Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar also are everywhere. This is a part of Prakriti. What are they? They are called the Ashtadha Prakriti, eightfold divisions of Prakriti, Pancha Mahabhutas, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar. 8 divisions of Prakriti. What is Prakriti, anybody?
Nature.
Yeah, nature. Nature in the sense divine nature. We are all part of Prakriti only. The creation, Srishti is all part of Prakriti. We're getting introduced to Prakriti at the moment. These eightfold, okay, Krishna says these eightfold divisions are, we continue. Functioning as the eightfold divisions of mind on all beings, their imposition nature tries to assign. Prakriti tries to stamp its dominance over all of us. Don't we agree? We all go through a cycle of life, isn't it? Childhood, youth, old age. Somebody says, I don't want to. This, like a famous singer, 18 till I die. That was his song, favorite when we were in college. Nice, we can all try singing that. Fine, that is good. We will aspire for it. But we'll come to terms with it sometime or the other, isn't it? He was at 55 also going singing the same concert, 18 till I die, with the same energy. That was different. But I think young we can remain in heart, but Sharira goes through changes. Prakriti is going to assign its imposition on us. Another friend wanted to, there was a very famous concert in Jipma, they call it Spandan. So he was a part of organizing and he wanted to celebrate all days. He decided not to sleep. Very bad idea, but nobody can advise a youth who is having a lot of energy about and lot of confidence or anchor of the youthfulness. I can do it is what he said. So 3 days, 4 days went very well. Fourth day, actually it was a 5-day thing. So the fourth day, he was found lying in some classroom. He was lying down asleep and he missed the 5th day completely because of nature only, isn't it? You can't break nature. Maybe you can bend to some extent, but Prakriti is imposing things on us. Probably sadhana is required to transcend this imposition. But right now, let us understand and become conscious that Prakriti is making me think. That means we are not in control, isn't it? My stomach is upset, that is why I'm getting irritated and shouting at everybody around me. Or I'm hungry, that is why I'm shouting at everybody, because There's no food inside. That is what? Again, Prakriti's stamp, isn't it? So who is controlling us? Somebody else. That is not right. That is why a sadhak does sadhana to come out of the imposition. So right now Krishna says Ashtada Prakriti, Panchamahabhutas, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar. These are all trying to put their stamp on us. Krishna says, he says further, Aparameyam itastwanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. But these divisions, eightfold, are still inferior. Means for us they are superior, but no. Compared to a higher consciousness, these Ashtada Prakriti also appear inferior. Why? For my energies that become life force are superior. O mighty armed warrior, know you must and behold, only a fraction of my forces all material beings hold. So what is Krishna saying? That only a quantum of the energy of the divine, if you were to add the forces, whatever we call prana vayu or prana shakti or chit shakti or consciousness of all, there'll just be a quantum of the supreme consciousness. And in front of that supreme consciousness, even the Ashtada Prakriti looks inferior. On our side, we cannot call it inferior, isn't it? That's like sitting and watching two Olympics players battle it out and say, this person is waste. He got only silver medal. That gold medal, yes, I can relate better to the gold medal. Get into the boxing ring with the silver medal, last for 30 seconds. That won't happen. But we start commenting. So something like that. Ashtada Prakriti is lower in comparison to the Supreme Consciousness. The Supreme Consciousness is so powerful, so wonderful, so magnificent, that the entire Srishti's energy is just powered by a quantum of that consciousness. Think about it. That is a for comparison. Krishna goes on further. He says, Etadyonini bhutani sarvani tyupadharaya aham kritsnasya jagataha prabhavaha pralayas tatha. So I am the Prabhu, is Krishna is clearly telling Arjuna. So right now Krishna is revealing to Arjuna something, that he is the supreme consciousness. How will you feel if suddenly your friend comes and tells you, I am God? We'll say, what? Don't tell me nonsense. Maybe Arjuna is having some thoughts like that because he has not yet recognized Krishna as a supreme consciousness. He's understood Krishna to be wise, experienced, etc., etc., all good adjectives. He will give plenty. But right now, Krishna is introducing this. If Arjuna realizes it, it might help him. If he doesn't, still it's going to help him because Krishna is introducing the concept. The seed will enter inside now. It will germinate when it has to. He says, know these two energies, two types of energies to be mine, manifested in all living things. Manifested in all living things of my creation divine. For I am the creator of this creation, and it is also I who am its destruction. So I am the creator. We all know Krishna as lovely, sweet, beautiful, all of it. But he's also the destroyer. And what we can say, the Raudra Roop of Krishna is not seen by many, isn't it? But that is also there, is what Krishna is saying. That is why in the Tantra Yoga also, they worship Krishna. There's a different, his destructive form is also there. Krishna goes on. Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva. Another beautiful shloka. Sutre maniganaiva is what Krishna says. Oh Arjuna, there is naught that exists beyond me. For nothing can more supreme be. For all existence, I am the connecting seed. Like the thread necklace. Like the thread lining the pearl necklaces, every bead. So Krishna says it is like the sutra. Sutra meaning the thread. What is the sutra? Krishna is the sutra. For what? For all living beings. That is the common connection. That link is there. And he talks about every living being as what? As a pearl. A unique pearl in that necklace. Anybody likes pearl necklaces or anybody has worn them, you'll see each pearl is a unique one. And even though those which are grown in the labs, they also don't have the exact same shape. But in nature, again, they're different. So something like that, Prakriti creates so many manifestations, all are unique, but all have one connecting seed, that is the divine. Krishna says it is I. He goes on further. He says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryayo pranavaha sarvavedeshu खे शब्दः खे पौरुषम नृषु प्रणवः सर्ववेदेषु शब्दः खे पौरुषम नृषु. Krishna says it is in the flavor and the taste of waters. In the flavor and the taste of waters, it is I. Water also has its taste. Many times you go outside of your home, you say, Arey, I miss the water from my house. It has its own flavor, it has its own taste. Or you go to the village, you get the very fresh water from the bore. That underground water has a different flavor. What is its original flavor? That is that pure flavor. I am, that is what Krishna is saying. Oh Arjuna, I am the light of the sun and the moon in the sky. Prabhasmi Shashi Surya Yoho. Since I am that light which is manifesting in a Surya. When the Gayatri mantra is chanted, are we chanting to the physical sun? Or is it something different? We're talking about physical sun, or we're talking about the higher sun? Sri Aurobindo's Savitri mantra is also there. Sri Aurobindo's Gayatri mantra is there, which talks about the Savita Surya. In the Rig Veda also there is a sun which is beyond the sun. That sun's light is what is manifesting in the form of the sun that we see. And that sun is a divine one. The divine sun is manifesting as the physical sun. It is said, and so the Gayatri mantra also is asking us to focus on that light, so that that light enlightens us only. It awakens the light inside of us. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. We need to get that awakening. Let that light invoke me. Sri Aurobindo's Gayatri mantra makes it even more clear. Om Tat Savitur Varam Rupam Jyoti Parasya Dhimahi Yanna Satyena Deepayet, by which the light of truth will manifest. What is invoked? Tat Savitur Varam Rupam, that form of the Savita Surya, which is manifesting. Let that light inspire the intellect in me. Let my intellect be inspired by that truth, the divinity of truth. That is what we can see. So in the Surya also there is a light. Chandra also there is light. Whose light is there in the Chandra? The Surya's light only, isn't it? The same light is being reflected in the Chandra. So it is one. The primordial word of Genesis. I am Om, the Vedic sound. Pranavaha Sarva Vedeshu. Om is called the Pranava mantra, the Bija mantra. Mandukya Upanishad is just an exposition of Om. Om iti etat aksharamidam sarvam tasyopa vyakhyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi sarvam omkarameva. You study the Upanishad, you'll wonder what is it? Om is in the past, Om is the future, Om is only everything. Om is inside, Om is outside. What is all going on? Well, it is connecting to the consciousness, and Om is considered to be the primary sound, the sound of creation. That is why every mantra starts with an Om. It is like a pranava. They start, and many even at the end also. They finish the mantra and again add an Om. Because they complete it. Tantrically, the circle is complete. So that is Om. And he says, I am that Om. Then he goes on. The manhood in man and ether's subsonic element I am found. So I am that, Krishna is telling. What? Paurusham Nrashu, in the men, the astitva, the strength of what we can say, the full vigor and everything, that is also I only, is what Krishna is saying. And I am there in that subsonic sound also. Many say Om is the mantra that needs to be heard. Heard when? In silence. Yes, you can put it on play in your mobile phone and everywhere and listen, but hear it in the Srishti also. In the quietude of the Srishti, the Brahmanad is only that Omkar. The Brahmanad also can be heard. That is what is Shruti, listening to that divine consciousness. Punyo Gandhaha Pruthivyam cha Tejaschasmi Vibhavasau Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu Tapaschasmi Tapasvishu. On the earth, I am the purest original fragrance. For the fire that burns, I am the heat and radiance. I am the vitality that nourishes all beings living. Excuse me. I am the vitality that nourishes all beings living. I strengthen the ascetic. Who is ascesis performing? So Krishna is saying that I am the purest original fragrance. For the fire that burns, I am the heat. I am the radiance. Anybody has heard of this, what they call ittar or attar? Yes? Anyone? Something about it?
Yes, it is the
It's
pure essence from a flower.
Okay. From a flower.
Concentrated perfume.
Okay, concentrated perfume. So I think Umaji is right, like from the flower, no? Means how many, you see, I had a good chance because Damliji took me directly to UP, into the heart of one place where they manufacture, and they have been doing it from the times of the kings. So they use, probably they get truckloads of roses, and from so many roses, they get a small distillation, what we call hydro distillation is done, or another type of distillation is done, and they get just a small one. Namiji did for an experiment. He set up the lab only, and throughout the night, marigold, we tried to get the essence. It was going on throughout night, and we just got little bit. But that small essence also had such a strong fragrance that one drop can spread the fragrance throughout the entire room, because it is that pure. You go to some places like in Kannauj, you will see 1 liter going for several lakhs, and there are so many people across the world wanting it. So that attar is that purest fragrance, and Krishna is saying, "I am that purest fragrance." Like flowers, there is attar for the mritika also. There are so many different attars. The original fragrance, that is the attar. So Krishna says it is I. That is why many people, when they do dhyana, suddenly they get a fragrance that becomes a indication of a divine presence. Nobody may have lit nobody may have lit an agarbatti, or nobody would have used it, and still the fragrance is emanating from the place. That is the indication of the presence of the divine. That's an experience, and people have had it, not superstition. Maybe let's try. We will go, and we become more subtle. We'll probably be able to experience that as well. Krishna goes on. Yes. For the fire, the energy of the fire, that heat of the fire, that is also I. I am the vitality that nourishes all living beings. I am the urja, the energy inside of all living beings. It's visible, isn't it? More pronounced in little kids. They break all laws of conservation of energy. Little bit food, and then they're jumping throughout the day. Both mother and father get tired at the end of the day. They've eaten so much, still they're not able to generate that much energy, but the child is having it. Well, that is again, it is divine, is what Krishna is saying. A physicist was telling me quantum speed reactions are taking place. We have to study this in quantum mechanics, what transfer is taking place inside of the body. This is synaptic reflexes. It's already happening very fast in all of us. But in children, it happens at extra speed. You see, if we can tap into that mechanism and figure it out, we'll have a great revolution. Revolution in the world of science and technology is what they tell. Well, some scientists designed it all. Probably we can connect to that scientist and only get the secret. Who knows? Krishna says, I am the asset. I am that tapasya in the tapasvi. I am strengthening the tapasvi to do the ghor tapasya also. Sometimes we feel, where do people get that energy? I think sometimes we also on the day, some days we do upvas also in offering to the divine. We feel now I'm going to run out of energy, but suddenly that day we feel a different urja. Anybody has got that experience? If yes, Please do share in a line. Yes? Anybody? Suddenly of energy inside. Yes, Rajrupaji.
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
I have felt it. I mean,
Yeah.
in fact, you feel less tired the days you fast. You have more
Yeah.
energy.
Yes, absolutely. And there are, like, fasting is just one example, but when we connect with the divine consciousness, that time is a Chaitanya inside of us, and that carries us forward, allowing us to do remarkable things as well. Krishna goes on, he says, Bijam mam sarvabhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam buddhimatam asmi tejas vinamaham. Know me to be the seed of all lives eternal. O Arjuna, my truth is for you to conceive. I am the wisdom in the awakened intellectual, and it is my radiance that the illumined receive. Krishna is saying, Arjuna, it is up to you to conceive it. Conceive what? Conceive the origin or the existence or the presence of the divinity. I am the seed, I am the bija, is what Krishna is saying. If I tell you there's a big tree in my hand, what will you tell me? I'm a big fool, because I can't have a tree in this hand. But if I suddenly open the tree and show you a seed of a big tree, you'll say, yes, now I can understand, because by logic we know this much, isn't it? The seed becomes a tree later on. But when it is concealed, you'll never be able to see it. And because you're not able to see it, you'll never conceive it. So Krishna is saying, see, I am the bija. And this truth you have to only conceive. You have to experience, you have to realize. And first thing for experiencing is seeking, isn't it? If you don't seek, you'll never find. So let us start. But this has to be conceived, is what Krishna is saying. I am the wisdom in the awakened intellectual. Suddenly we feel, where is this wisdom coming from? And some people, like you see, Totakacharya, he composed the Totakashtakam suddenly. How did he do that? Everybody was surprised. He said it was Guru Kripa for him, and it was the Stuti of Shiva also, and the Stuti of Adi Shankaracharya also. Guru Pungava Pungava Ketanate Mahitopanishad Kathakarthanate. It just goes on like that, and it's considered to be the most difficult matter. And who is composing it? Somebody who is known to not have that much capacity or caliber. Many of them looked down upon him, that he is not so smart or something. Suddenly he received it. Well, that was divine touch. Sri Aurobindo also says all is possible when the God touch is there. So in the intelligence of the wise person also, that is the divine. तुलसी तुलसी सब कहे, तुलसी बन की घास, हो गई कृपा प्रभु राम की, बन गए तुलसीदास. Tulsi is what? Just a forest grass, it grows on its own. You don't have to. In our factory, we require tulsi. We don't have to cultivate it specially. We allow it to grow up to a particular limit, then we pull it out, and then we start drying it. And in the next few months, we again have lots of tulsi again, because it grows on its own. But here he says, see, this ordinary grass with the krupa of Prabhu Sri Ram became Tulsidas. So something like that we must understand. So when we see the wisdom, understand the source. Don't give outer importance to the outer aspect of the individual. And it is my radiance that the illumined receive. The Teja also, the Teja inside of some individuals, we see that is again what Teja of the divine only is what Krishna is saying. He goes on further, he says, Balam balavatam chaham kamaraga vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshapha. This is interesting. So far, we have always been told, Mam phaleshu kadachanam, let go of all desires. So we all feel, what? Not even one desire? Can I not hold on to something? At least one desire. Everybody feels that. Like dietitian tells you have to follow strict diet. Doctor, please, one cheat day. One cheat day. I asked a dietitian in the class only, do you give cheat days? They say yes. He was laughing and saying, why do you give it? Because if you don't give that cheat day, they will not follow the entire week's diet. So for that one cheat day, they somehow try going there. So now Krishna is going to tell you one desire which is not wrong. What is that? Let us see. Sometimes it is said, no, exceptions prove the rule. So there is one exception also. Let us see that. Krishna says first, I am the strength of the mighty and the strong. So balam badavatam chaham. I am the strength of the mighty. Devoid of attachment and passion. Oh Arjuna, I am the energy of procreation. So again, in procreation also, I am only present is what Krishna is saying. Kamosme bharatarshabha. So I am that Kama which is creating new life. It is there. But there, without attachment, without that, unprejudiced passion of what we can say, Rajas, without that, in the higher state, we will hear what is that. We know about Rajas, we've heard of Tamas, we've heard of Sattva. There is something higher than all these three also. Let us see when Krishna introduces. But there also Krishna's presence is there. We say Kama Devata only, isn't it? The desire, God of desire is there. But here Krishna says, I am Dharma's desire. That is not wrong. Meaning the desire to uphold your Dharma, that is not wrong. That is your duty. What is Dharma? Well, 100 definitions of Dharma can be given. But who can understand it? You can only understand it yourself. What is your Dharma? For that, you have to first connect with Swadharma. Anything goes against Swadharma is not really Dharma at all. Because Dharma is one sutra connecting all living beings. You follow your Swadharma, all other dharmas will automatically fall in place. Means otherwise a person, I have so many dharmas to manage, I have to handle so many dharmas. But if Swadharma is understood, all dharmas are easily manifested. Like that, like I talked about, I think in a previous session, about a fight between the technician and the doctor. Technician slapped the doctor. Doctor was frustrated. Technicians also frustrated. Unions came into play. This will not happen. We will not tolerate this. What has happened ultimately? Patients started suffering. Both on strike against each other. Look, things were looking bad. Then the elders came together. What did they find? They found the Swadharma and Sutra for everybody. What is that? Patient care, isn't it? It's the same for the receptionist. It is the same for the nurse. It's same for the doctor. It is same for the technician. So for this, let us first look at this. And then they said, all right. But what about this? This was wrong. The technician apologized and said, this never should the physical, it should never happen. This is absolutely wrong. Nobody is going to condone or accept it. And the doctor also took a higher stand. Yes, I was also wrong in treating him like scum or treating in a very wrong manner. I'll also avoid doing that. But that no action got justified. But when did things fall into place? When the Swadharma was understood. Yes, this is the thing. This is my Swadharma. So many times in life, we try to juggle so many things. Krishna has told, no? Swadharmat nidhanam shreya paradharmo bhayava. Means it is dangerous to follow going against your Swadharma. So hold on to your Dharma, uphold your Dharma, you will grow in consciousness. So holding on to Dharma is never wrong. It is not a wrong desire. That is what Krishna is saying. So if at all we want to have some desire, let it be that I will understand my Dharma. The 18th Adhyaya, we will understand what is the highest Dharma actually. Krishna reveals it in the last. I call it Krishna Dharma, but let us see when it comes in. Krishna goes on, he says, Ye chaiva satvika bhava rajasas tamasaschaye matta eveti tan vidhi natvaham teshu te mai. All modes of ignorance, passion or goodness. So far we've been introduced about three gunas. Today we've got their names. Only business card has been given, not yet in full introduction. So what is tamas? Where there is tamas, there is rajas, there is sattva. As of now, we know about rajas because kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna samudbhava. So we've heard only bad about rajas. There may be something good also in rajas when we hear about it in detail. Let us now equate rajas with passion. Passion that is controlled is good. Passion that is not controlled is bad. That much we know, and rajas can be equated to passion as of now. Tamas can be equated to ignorance. Sattva can be equated to goodness. So there are the three gunas or three operating systems of Prakriti in this Srishti. all modes of ignorance, passion, or goodness. It is from me that they have manifested from. Means from the divine only these three gunas have came into origin. Even though they all exist within my oneness, I exist not in their outer form. Krishna says all these living beings, they are existing in my consciousness. And yet in the outer form, my consciousness is not manifest completely. Means it's like bacteria being cultured in a lab. Colonies and colonies of bacteria thrive in a culture medium. Are the bacteria conscious of the culture medium? It has been placed by somebody, or they are growing in that. They are just happy with their colonies. Like that, human beings also living in so many colonies, so many apartments, so many, all of us are living in a consciousness which is actually driven by the divine. That is our base, that is our essence, and yet on the surface, the divine consciousness is not visible. That is why we see, this person behaving like that, that person behaving this way, all these things we see. Where is divinity is the question we ask. Well, divinity is behind the scenes. Director has given roles, everybody is playing their roles. When the curtain falls, then only we'll see that all are acting. Till then, we'll not realize it. Krishna goes on. He says, Tribhir gunamayir bhavair rebhihi sarvamidam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhyah param avyayam. By these three modes, man bewildered goes. Three modes of Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. These are called the three gunas. So our Srishti is functioning. When the three gunas are there in the Prakriti, these three gunas are functioning in all of us. Because of three gunas only, we are getting confused, we can say. We are driven by those gunas. And the truth of my divinity, he never knows. The full existence of a divine consciousness is lost because we are in this matrix of these gunas. We don't realize it. For when one is hoodwinked by the three, my supreme imperishable existence, he can never see. Even Sattva is called one of the gunas. So there is a limitation of Sattva also, and in that people are trapped when they are not realizing the divine. Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva, these are the nature's operating systems which sometimes prevent one from realizing. We look at two more shlokas and we stop here. This illusion, anybody knows what do they call it? There's a nice word for it in Sanskrit.
Maya.
Absolutely. Yes, this is Maya. This is Maya is what Krishna is saying. Devi Hyesha Gunamai Mama Maya Durattaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. This is Maya, the illusion divine that engulfs every creation of mine. Crossing over beyond the veil can very hard be, but only by surpassing it can one approach me. Krishna is saying, this is that illusion. Who is getting trapped? Every single one of us are getting trapped in Maya, is what Krishna is saying. Every creation is trapped. Crossing over beyond the veil can very hard be. Means because you are trapped in that illusion, it's very difficult to escape from it. But unless you break through, unless you pierce through this veil of illusion, you will not realize divinity. You should be like that arrow of truth piercing through it. So Maya also has a role. Don't discard everything as Maya. Instead, pierce that wheel of Maya. Use that Maya as a medium to reach to that truth which is there. The Upanishad, there's a beautiful shloka. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapihi tam mukham tattvam pushanam apavruno satya dharmaya drishtaye. Meaning, like a vessel, it is having a lid, but that lid is golden. Because it is golden, we feel that itself is everything. That golden lid is the truth. But actually, it is not the truth. It is just on the surface. Like this, all that glitters is not gold. Something like that. That lid is there. So the Pushan Bhagwan is invoked. Tattvam Pushanam Apavruno Satya Dharmaya Drishte. Break that lid. It may be golden, but you have to break that golden lid to realize the truth. That is the Satya Dharma.
This concept of Jagat Mithya is also a confusion of Maya by chance? Like,
I mean, that is a perspective which many have interpreted. If you see, Sri Aurobindo's Upanishad talks about Jagadapi Brahma Satyam na Mithya. This
okay.
world, Anandamayam Jagadidam Sarvam Parabrahmanam Avartitam Mayapi Parabrahma Prasantasya Santarupinam. This, it is a finite form. Maya is also a form of the divine only, isn't it? Brought into place in the
Right.
Bhagavatam. We'll see
But
Krishna and
creation
Yogam
is not illusion. It is illusion which is part of
present.
creation. Like,
Ah,
it's
yes,
present in creation. Or
yes,
creation is steeped in illusion.
yes. Creation, illusion is present in the creation, and the illusion is also created by the same force which has created the creation, isn't it?
Yeah, all of it is created by that one
Yes,
person, or I don't
yes.
know.
We
But
call it, no, you can call it personal if you believe in person. Somebody says it's impersonal. Just, I think Binaji was talking about it. Sagun, Sakar, Niragun, Nirakar. Whatever creation, whatever existence, some intelligent design has created it. So there
right.
is something which is preventing us from realizing. Many times in life also we have moments where we suddenly, things are in front of us, but we don't see it. We have eyes, we can see, yet the truth is in front of
It's
us and
not,
still
it's
we
not
don't
visible,
see.
yeah.
It's not visible.
But creation is not equal to illusion.
No, 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 it is not. It is not. Creation has a purpose.
Just
Yeah,
just
all right,
before
Renu.
this shloka, you mentioned about the gunas. So,
Yeah,
and then you said that even sattva guna is having limitation. Can you
yeah.
elaborate or can you give example? Because
Can
that's
we
what
wait?
Tana said, become gunatit.
Yeah, but we have not studied the gunas yet, no? The chapter on gunas will come,
Hmm.
and once it comes, it will keep repeating all chapters. So let it come when
Okay.
Krishna introduces it. Right now, we'll just equate sattva means goodness, but sometimes they say, no, don't be too good to be true. This person is always goody goody. I don't really like this person at all because we feel something is
Oh,
missing or not required. So let us say
listen.
sattva is good. It is better than the other two, definitely. But sattva also has some limitation, is what Krishna is saying. Gunamaya Maya. Because Maya operates through the gunas. Attachment. It's like we would follow social distancing, isn't it, during the COVID times? Why? Well, handshake also is going to not be good. Sometimes staying in the vicinity also is not good. So just like that, these gunas also will, through the gunas, the Maya will operate, is what Krishna is saying. But only by surpassing Maya, by transcending Maya's pull only can you realize me is also one more thing. So that means there is a need for Maya to be present. There is a need for us to evolve beyond Maya. Let us look at one more shloka and we'll look at just Maya a little bit. In a short story we can look at after this shloka. Namam dushkrutino mudhaha prapadyante niradhamaha mayayapa hritagnana asram bhavam asritaha. The foolish and the evil do not attain me. Why? For in the bewilderment, the truth they do not see. Disillusioned by Maya, they resort to base means governed by the lower of natures of the demonic realms. The Asuri Swabhava governs a person who is disillusioned. Look at the case of a drunkard. What happens to a drunkard? A man or a woman, when they become drunk, what happens? They are vulnerable, isn't it? Vulnerable to the forces, lower forces. Suddenly, they're no more having control, no more having viveka. One of my staff's husband drank acid and killed himself. He already went into a horrible state because of drinking. He was in bad physical state. He would beat his wife. Finally, doctors told him one more drop of alcohol will kill you. So stop taking it because he had internal organ failure and so many things happened. And yet, in that, bewilderment, that person was still after that. Finally, the mother said, you leave him. I will look after him. You go work. Your child, you're looking after. It's okay. I mean, look at the quality of life of a human life. It is wasted, isn't it? Even that stuff, it was so difficult. I was like, difficult. What can I do? I was not able to do anything just beyond moral support. And we, from our side, give a good atmosphere. That's all. But that is the experience, isn't it? And finally, this person had to reach a horrible death where that person did not realize the difference between the acid on the floor and an alcohol bottle. And that is bewilderment. That is Maya. And the problem with Maya is you don't realize you're in a trap. When you realize in a trap, you can free yourself, isn't it? But if you don't realize, say you are in a, there's a beautiful Marathi song which says, break that golden cage. Break that golden cage and escape, because golden cage is what man is living in many times. He's not realizing it. All facilities are there. My friend had told me during COVID times, this is the best time in the world. He could sleep as much as he want. He had just resigned before COVID. He was watching only anime movies continuously from morning to evening. He was putting on weight, eating. He said, I can order everything. But after 1.5 years, that really went onto his nerves, and then he started exercising and coming out of it, because till then he didn't realize it at all. Just he was there in that. And so until you realize, you cannot be free. Sometimes Krishna comes to take you out. What do you say? Go away. I don't need you. Divine force is also turned away when it comes to our doors. We don't realize it. We've heard in Puranic stories, some in a different form, the divine comes. There he's turned away because of Maya only. Why do we have to look at Puranic stories? You go deeper into your life, you will also see there were moments when the divine was giving us hints. The hints were very clear, but because we were in Maya, we didn't want to see that hint, so we ignored them. And then afterwards, oh, I should have listened to it. That feeling comes in. So that is what Krishna is saying. Governed by the lower nature, they go into wrong directions. Those are they are the bewildered ones, the foolish ones. So one important aspect is Maya is, we can say, all powerful. So there's this. Anybody knows about Narada Muni? Yes. What was his chant?
Narayana.
Narayan.
Always japa of Narayan only, isn't it? There's a story of Krishna and Narada Muni together. Krishna goes laughing. And Krishna and Narada are strolling. Narada smiles and says, Krishna, I am always saying your name only. How will I get trapped in Maya? I don't think I'm going to get trapped in Maya because I am always in your Smaran. Krishna also smiles as they walk ahead. Then he asks for water. He's a little thirsty. He says, get me some water. He says, all right, let me go. And then he goes. But as he goes ahead, he sees that a beautiful, oasis is nearby, but just there's a big fight going on. Fight is so bad that two groups have come, and these groups are actually armed. Meaning this fight is going to lead to death. Death of what? Multiple people. Krishna has told us this, isn't it? Loka Sangraha is the important thing. So you should try to always do something for the betterment of the world. So our Narada also feels that, yes, let me do something. So he goes there. An interesting aspect of Narada is he's a Muni, no? He's already detached. He's neither from this party nor from the other party. So such a person can be the best intermediary, best negotiator, and best person to bring about reconciliation. So he hears both these parties out, and then he suddenly says, see, whatever your points may be, they are both sides, you have your own valid points. But if you go ahead on this path, destruction is going to be so bad that both sides are not going to recover, and a third side will take benefit of your weakness. So he somehow brings about a reconciliation. Both sides are now so happy with the reconciliation because both have taken one step behind and both have gone to an understanding that they praise Narada so much and they say, please come meet the Raja. Because this was a big problem for several years, almost decades. So the Raja is there, and so Narada goes to the court of the Raja. And the Raja does his namaskar and pranams to Narada and thanks him. And Narada also says, this is my duty only for the betterment of the world. I have to do whatever I can. He says, please, I need some more guidance and just something. He asks something. Then Narada gives the answers also. So it goes on. It was very nice and everybody is getting benefited by it. And that time, The king says, see, I have to go for my sadhana, like you have been living your life. Now is the time for me to go to Vanaprastha, but I did not find somebody suitable to rule this kingdom properly. And it is like Krishna's will only that you have come here. So please, please accept this and take care of this kingdom. And he says, see, my daughter is here. She's beautiful. And she's been watching Narada, and she is also attracted to the page of Narada. And Narada also looks at her and, wow, he's also looking good. Narada also says, all right. And chalo, this is the king says, I will be able to do sadhana. And Narada agrees. So then Narada begins ruling. But when a yogi is there, he's going to follow that life only, isn't it? So he rules with such wonderful grace and such understanding that he suddenly forms an alliance of kings around him also who were quarreling always. They also see him and they see, no, there's no point fighting him. He's also powerful. Plus, he's got great viveka. Let us join forces with him. So there's harmony, there's peace. Everything goes on for some years and everything is peaceful. But suddenly, Prakriti, we just talked about, isn't it? Prakriti keeps putting impositions on us. Like that, Prakriti puts an imposition on the kingdom. There is a horrible weather, like there's no rain at all. And in that, they lose all their granaries, whatever, dhanya and everything, all the food, everything is reduced. People have begun to starve. Now this king who was very powerful, now his kingdom is suddenly appearing weak. And then human nature takes control, isn't it? Suddenly the alliance is broken. If at all Narada is going to be vulnerable, it is now. Let us attack. So from the north, there is an invasion. Narada sends his general to quell that invasion. As that fight is going on from the south, another invasion takes place at the same time. So Narada tries to finish that and goes there, but both sides, it has become too much for him. And finally, the perimeters of the city are breached. The army has entered inside, and Narada is now wondering what has to be done. That time, their Senapati comes and says, Maharaja, if you survive, we will get another kingdom. You escape through this route with your family and your 2 children. Move from this way, become safe, because if you are safe, I am confident you will again rise. So with a heavy heart, Narada walks there. He's not able to carry too many things. Already there is very little food provisions, everything, whatever little he can carry. They walk in a disguise. They go through the kingdom, through that tunnel, they escape. And then as they go ahead, 2 days have passed. Slowly the provisions also are becoming less. Nobody around, all places it's looking like there's only drought. Nobody is having anything. That time one beggar comes and asks Narada, please give me some food. I have not eaten in 2.5 days. Narada looked at his pouch. He has only one morsel. Now there's a dharma sankata. Should I give it to my kids or should I give it to this person who is begging? He looks at his wife. She threatens him. She says, you are not going to give it to him. He says, this is my dharma. I have to give. So he gives it to that beggar. That time he hears a wife, just the first food, the beggar is just putting it inside of the mouth. That time his wife screams. His one child, the son has fallen. He's fallen unconscious. He rushes, afraid what has happened. He's had very little water and suddenly that stroke has taken over and now he's not breathing. Narada is afraid and at the same time daughter also falls. She's also not breathing. Now Narada is not knowing what to do and his wife blames him. You are responsible for this. What was my bad luck that I got connected with an inauspicious person like you? And she just abandons him and he goes away and he is standing there looking at the lifeless bodies of his son and daughter. At that moment, he gives out a scream and calls out to Krishna. That time Krishna asks him, what happened to my glass of water? So Krishna had asked him to get a glass of water, but he got trapped in Maya. He imagined a life, he imagined a family, he imagined everything. That is Maya. Maya is so powerful that a great Muni like Narada can get caught. What about all of us? Can we say, I will not get caught in Maya at all? Can anybody afford to say that? Anybody? Yes? No. But the story has a secret of how to get out of Maya also. Can anybody tell me that?
Name of Narayana. he shouted at last.
Yeah, but Narada was thinking, no, he said, Krishna has told Lokasangra, so I'll get married to a wonderful wife for Lokasangra. For Lokasangra, he became king. He said everything he was thinking, it is Krishna's wish. The king also said, I am going to
But
go.
did he surrender completely? Did he
That is
surrender
what.
completely?
Yeah, some complete surrender. We have to have smaran. What is our role? What is our duty? If he remembered Krishna has sent him for a glass of water, all this frustration what he had, no, it would not have taken place. So the smaran is that which will help us come out of Maya also. And the smaran should be accompanied by complete surrender. Otherwise, we have a mind, no, which has a tendency. There are auto suggestions also. That is why in Dhyana many times my Guruji says don't talk about anything beyond the Kriya of Dhyana. Because by auto suggestion you start imagining. Sometimes you start hallucinating. One person, my Kundalini is Jagrut, my Kundalini is Jagrut. One person got frustrated and he had to get admitted. He had hypoglycemia and he was thinking his Kundalini has got Jagrut. Now what is that? It is what is we can call auto suggestion of the my mind plays tricks with us. So sometimes it is not just the mind we have to listen to. We have to listen to the heart and keep Krishna in your heart, you will never forget. So at all times he could have gone to that place also. Oasis is nearby, I have to get water. Simple, no? But no, there, this fight is going on, interesting fight, let me go and see. Then into that, into that, into that. So something like that in our life also happens. The trick to escape Maya, as Krishna says, Maya metam tarantite, means smaran of the divine. Hold on to the feet. Hold on the feet of the Aradhya, hold on to the feet of the Guru, hold on to feet of your Ishta. Just hold on to the feet of the divine, no matter what moment it is. You will always be free from that. So that lesson, but we don't have to fall, no? Like Narada, we don't have to see a nightmare to come out of. It's a horrible thing, even just to visualize the nightmare. So why live? Many times people live through unnecessary nightmares. No, this is my life, this is my suffering, I have my bhoga, what to do. We are only creating that for us. Instead, hold on to the divine. Tasya smarana matrena sarva papai pramunchate. It is said about, like you say, Dattatreya also. Tatriputro Mahatejo Dattatreyo Mahamuni Tasya Smarana Matrena Sarva Papai Pramunchate. Or Krishna says, Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam. If you realize that, you will get mukti. Realize the presence. So, no matter how powerful Maya is, if you recognize Maya also as a role, divinity is there in Maya also. But my job is not to get trapped in the divinity of Maya. My job is to hold on to that divinity of Krishna. Let that smaran be there. There our personal preferences will disappear. So with this we stop. We stopped at this shloka of Maya, 15th shloka of the 7th adhyaya. Can someone summarize something that we saw today, some takeaways, and then we'll conclude with the Shanti mantra. Yes, please. Anybody?
We saw about the three gunas, sattva,
Ji.
rajas, and tamas. And also there was this reference to Attar. So where Krishna says
Punyoganga.
that so he is the purest form of I would say fragrance.
Ji.
Then Krishna also mentioned that he is the sutra for all the living beings who are tied to a string of pearls.
Yes.
And
Ji.
and another thing that he said is that he is the seed of the truth, and it is up to us to realize the truth, to conceive
Ji.
or experience that truth.
Absolutely. Perfectly said. Yes, Ji.
And we also saw those eight fold divisions of Prakriti.
Ashtada
The
Prakriti.
the five elements and mind, reason, and ego, which
Ji.
which are the eight. Yeah. And
It's
Krishna
possible.
also reveals in one of the shloka that he is the supreme consciousness.
Which is higher than the Ashtada Prakriti, isn't it?
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
So if the highest consciousness we are able to connect, the Ashtada Prakriti also will have to bend to the supremacy of that divine consciousness. That is why the bhaktas have experienced in their life. Prabhu ko niyam badalte dekha. Means one particular participant, Shivaji, he's not in this batch, but he shared his experience. He considers Mata Amritamandamayi as his guru and as his Aradhya only. I asked him, how was your turn? Because it's always interesting. Normally, each person's journey, no? Some experience is there which brings a person close to the divine. That Shraddha, once it is established, it does not go. And so, because he's a CA, retired CA, why is he taking so much time in bhajans and kirtans and why is he so interested? So he talked about his experience where once he had asked, he had called out, cry from inside, no? Like that, he had called out for help. If you are there, and something miraculous had happened that time when it was in connection with these air tickets which were to be had got cancelled, but somehow it did not reflect in the system, and he and his family could safely travel abroad. Otherwise, it would have created so much trouble. And that day onwards, he says that experience was a miracle for him. If you look at it logically, it's crazy how things fall in place, and like that, different people have different moments. So this aspect of this highest consciousness, we have to try to connect to it. That connect happens, no, then there's just the joy, only joy, and it is only the blessed who are connected also with the divine. It is a very special experience. So all we have to do is hold on to the sutra. Like the mother in Sri Aurobindo's ashram, there's a line after this, near the samadhi. After you finish, you go inside, you'll see a board, one beautiful frame. In that it is written, "Cling to the truth." That's all you have to do. And what is the truth? We say Krishna is the truth, or the sutra is there. Hold on to him. That's all, because that force is the highest consciousness. Chit, Shakti. You experience it, Chaitanya will come inside you naturally, no? You don't have to cultivate it separately. So that higher consciousness is even greater than the Ashtada Prakriti, which appear inferior compared to the higher consciousness. We need not start saying, ki, chalo, this is, many people after reading the Gita, they start saying that, no, this is lower. What is our status that we can call this lower? Have we transcended Ashtada Prakriti? No. We still have mana, we still have buddhi, we still have ahankar, we are still in the Panchamahabhutas. We have not crossed it. If Krishna says this is the higher and this is lower, then suddenly people say this is a lower god, that is higher god. As if we are now standing above the gods and giving judgment over the gods only. It is not that. In terms of the highest consciousness, sometimes what is lower need not be what is inferior also, isn't it? Means in the Devi also it is said, Ma Saraswati is lowermost, closest to the Prithvi, closest to us, all human beings. So will we say it is lowermost or highermost? We say the most difficult is this only. Ma Saraswati's working with all the imperfection of human beings and trying to put in inspiration and raise the consciousness. Then comes the other Devis. Lakshmi is there, Kali is there, then Maheshwari's vastness in this, it's like a sky, beautiful, vast. All of these are different forces of that one consciousness. But Ashtada Prakriti, yes, they have their roles, they have their limitations. Compared to the divine, no, they are not. So probably connect with the divine, experience what is beyond. Maya is something which is very much present. Our aim is to be free from Maya. If you understand how the Maya operates, Devi Yesha Gunamayi Maya. Gunamayi means through gunas. When we let us keep this in abeyance, so we'll be able to study this better when we see the chapter on gunas. But Maya is going to get operated, or it's going to function through the gunas. Narada's goodness trapped him, no? In Maya also. Are, I want to do good to the world. Lokasangraha. Who has told? Krishna has told. But what is Krishna waiting for? Glass of water is forgotten. Because I want to do good to the world. Many times we try to do good for other people and we forget what is our Swadharma also. And then we say, what is this? This world is a cruel place. Nothing good in this world. I did this, I did that. No, Swadharma cannot be forgotten. That Swadharma, Krishna is there to remind us many, many times. The oasis was for what? It was for the water only. But he didn't look at the oasis, he looked at the other side. Something like that. Let us focus. So, all right, I think with this, let us conclude with the Shanti Mantra. After which, if any queries are there, yeah, welcome. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukkha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Tatsat. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Jai Shri Krishna. Hari Om. Yes, if any queries are there, you are welcome, or we'll conclude the session.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Ji. Namaskar. Yes, sir. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Ji. Yes,
You were
Joy ji.
talking about
Yes, yes. Yeah,
the bird leaving the golden cage. So is it that in Marathi you were talking about? So is it Akashi Jepagere Pakara Sodi?
yes, Sodi,
So
Sonyacha Pinjara. Yes,
is it
yes,
that?
absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Akashi,
Hari Om.
thank you, Hari Om. It is Akashi Jhepa Ghere Pakhara. Your aim is
Sodi,
to jump,
Sonyacha
go into
Pinjara.
that. The sky is open for you. You're not taking that leap and going into the sky. You're getting trapped in a golden prison because of gold. You think gold is more valuable than the freedom. That is the thing. Yes. All right, Hari Om. Yes.
So the question I had was this one. So, like, we talked about the connection with the divinity. Fair enough. We should be having it, and we should be always looking or doing our Swadharma first, and then the rest of the dharmas. Okay,
No,
makes
no,
sense.
no,
Then
but once I did not say that rest of dharma come after Swadharma. Rest of dharma
then
come
is there
along
any
with Swadharma.
hierarchy? How do we know which thing to be done when and how? Like, obviously, Narad Muni was this close to Krishna, and he is like always in the dhyana of Krishna, but he got stray from his path as well. Then we are nothing in front of him.
So we can get
Then how
stray.
do we know?
We can, you are saying, so we can get stray away.
Yes, then how do we know what to
Then
be done
can we
then?
afford
Because
to stray away is the bigger question. No.
no, we cannot stray and we cannot afford as such.
Yeah.
But obviously, if we
So,
get
yeah.
a stray, that's also okay because Kana will bring us back. But in
If you
between,
remember
we
him.
miss a lot of time.
So you have to remember him. I will never go astray if you remember him. That's the entire thing. You remember him. You remember him, you will not go astray. Again, logically, you will say, people say, follow your Swadharma, then you do others, then they will say, yes, so you be selfish for yourself first. But many times you don't know what is your Swadharma only. If you use your mental logic, you will say, first I'll do this. No, I have to
That's what.
first pehle pet puja,
That's
फिर dev
what.
puja. They say, pehle pet puja, फिर dev puja. So let my stomach get full, then I will do puja for the divine. It's not that. It's not that. Swadharma is now, see, as a student, what is your Swadharma, Johiji? Vidya.
As a
Vidya.
student, I'm supposed to study. That's all my dharma for now.
Yeah, but study for getting grades in exams, study for getting good
No,
placement.
studying to
Study
gather
for-
knowledge.
Yeah, so gather knowledge. So your Swadharma is knowledge. So doing anything that is preventing you from gathering knowledge becomes a dharma, isn't it? That is as simple as that. If you somehow justify, I have to do this which is taking me away from knowledge for some reason, that means you are trapped in Maya. Because you're not realizing that Swadharma is this, to gather knowledge. You have to work on that path. For me, my Swadharma mandated that I go and join my teacher. It was very strong. So I had to leave my house. But that was clarity was there. Lucky, I was blessed by that was one good thing. I would say only one good thing happened was that I understood what I had to do at that particular time. So generally, Swadharma means what? Now somebody would say you are being, so many people told so many things. This is wrong, you'll suffer, this is not logical, you have to first look at your own bank balance, you have to look at something, this is not how the world works, this would have been okay 200 years before or 500 years before. All so many dialogues were there. People will give their logical explanations, no? But for me, I wanted to learn, and I thought this is the best place. So one side it was my Guruji, one more side I thought one university is offered. So I had a balance. For me, it was chalo, theek hai, this is clear. For me, that was my understanding. Because that time, but that does not mean everybody must follow the same path. No, we cannot have a SOP. So you say I must do for myself first and then others. That might end up making you more selfish than anything else, also, isn't it? For me in my life, I have learned so much by meeting people wherever I have these people have also been same way. They are also selfless only, and they have learned so much that sometimes divine brings about connections. You try to go, you try to network, you give your business card here, there, you try to say, chalo, let's discuss, we'll meet up, we'll collaborate for some higher research, nothing works out. Suddenly you go and sometimes you shout at somebody, that person becomes your friend. You end up doing the biggest research with that person whom you don't agree with at all. How? Well, you're following Swadharma, you're connected with the Sutra of Krishna. That is all. So for that, you have to see, and it's easy actually, Johiji. Don't you think? You want to learn, you want to
Correct.
don't you think it's easy? Like you want to gain knowledge, yes or no? So you know this clearly, isn't it?
Yeah, I wanted to.
You wanted to, it became past tense now.
I
Swadharma is
am
still,
still looking for the knowledge, but
no,
at
that
least
is,
I'm on the path now.
yeah, so you
That's
still
what
want to
I'm
gain
saying.
it. Yeah, still want to gain it. So that Swadharma is clear. So anything that is coming in between your Swadharma of gaining knowledge, it may be your Kshetra. Whichever, what you define as what is your Swadharma, I cannot define for you. No Shastra can define for you. Shastra can give guidance, but definition will not be found there. You will have to. So if you know this is your Swadharma, I am a student, I want to gain knowledge, I can go anywhere. You left your home to go to a foreign country, isn't it? To seek your knowledge.
Yeah.
That is like you have gone one, you have taken a step. So already you are clear on your Swadharma that you want to learn and grow. Now in this path, if you suddenly get carried away, forgetting that knowledge is most important, then it will become a problem. You will get trapped in Maya. So many
Can
people
you
get
please repeat?
trapped in Maya.
If I get away from the path,
Carried
carried
away
away,
from
then
knowledge,
that
from
will be
knowledge.
Maya.
And then you will be trapped
And
in, yes, then you will be trapped in Maya. Then it depends on good divine intervention, your purva sanskara, or the moment of life that you get again a realization. Because
okay,
of
then
Maya,
can I,
yeah, okay.
then
Something else.
in these moments, should we call Kanha? I'm stuck now and I don't know what's correct.
When you
So,
don't know, but it will be simple if you align it with your path. No, when you have realized this is your mission, this is your path. It is said that path you have understood. You have taken steps. You started walking on that path. So
I have
gaining
one more
knowledge.
question to this.
Acha ji, okay.
So actually, one time you had said that for Krishna, we are sort of football. Till we don't actually go on the path that's meant for us, if we have surrendered, we would be
Yeah,
actually like we will be a football till we
yeah.
actually get there. So
But football and drone में फर्क है ना? Football you kick, a
football.
straight kick has been given on the football. Will the football suddenly change flight and go elsewhere? Football will go in the direction of the kick. So if the divine has given that kick, let it go. No? It's okay. Job of football is not to think about the kick. No.
Okay.
If you believe the divine is playing with as a football, so we enjoy the game of football. Don't have to worry.
Okay.
Don't have to.
Okay.
Because I just tell you, one friend of mine in college, I told him, at that time I was very sure that I wanted to rush out of the country, nothing more than IELTS exam quickly because GRE was little boring, too many alphabets to memorize. So I told him, this is easy, let us learn. He said, you're a fool. You're not sitting for placement. I said, I don't want to sit for placement. I'm sure about it. So that time he called me a fool. 2 years later, he suddenly called me and said, I want to write IELTS. Tell me how to do it. So I said, "Yeah, okay." Then he prepared for his IELTS. Then he went to Australia. Then he completed one master's. The subject of his master's was because this is the master's field, petroleum engineering, and he said this is the most pay package. I studied it. I did a survey that I get the maximum pay package if I do this particular engineering. So I said that's not how you should do it, but He did it well. He was intelligent, so his name came in the Hall of Fame and everything in that college. Everybody was surprised, especially the college from which all our friends who had got low grades were doing very well outside. So this college, he got into the Hall of Fame, and then after that, he said, "I'm not getting that package which I wanted. Let me do a second master's." Then he did a second master's. Then he enlisted into the army of that country for some kind of some stint. He said, "This will give me more experience." Then he got married. Then after that, he's doing MBA. Then he went to America to learn about TikTok. I was shocked. What is happening? What is happening to the core field? What is happening to the direction? Now, but I can't tell, no? I can't say this is right, this is wrong. Instead, he's more confident that he knows more than me. He had even challenged me in the field of business also. He said, "I'm going to show you this is better, that is better." I'm like, okay, sure, go ahead. But somewhere we can see this is not really going in a linear progression, isn't it, Joyji? If you look at it in a career.
Yeah.
Because what is the driving factor? It is something else. The clarity of mind is required, even if you're doing business, even if you're doing something has to be clear, no? Otherwise, if you're just looking at outer aspects, then you'll be trapped. So you know the sutra, you know your knowledge, you want to seek knowledge, that's all. I don't think there should be any other worry at all. And as far as football, chalo, take it, football to football. Krishna is playing it, no? You're also a participant with Krishna, even though
Yeah,
you're not
or agar
player.
if I'm a football, I don't have to put my brain. Let players
Yeah, yeah,
guide.
yeah.
Fun,
Yes,
obviously.
that is all. Yeah, that is all. Hey, you're playing with Krishna. Unfortunately, as a football only. Tomorrow he'll take you as a player, maybe. No problem. Till
Okay.
then, at least you are in the game, no?
Yeah, being in game is better than being on the bench.
Yes,
So,
yes,
yep,
that's all.
goes.
Absolutely. Ji, all right.
Okay,
Yes.
समझ गई. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji, Hari Om. Jai Shri Krishna. Namaskar. Hari Om. Yes, we conclude the session.